host. I'm Lucky, joined by MVP. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We drop content every week, plus daily shorts. Last week we just did who we think is going to win the Royal Rumble. Some good debate. We're switching gears this week. WWE video games. We haven't talked about that in a while. Just a wish list of what we want to see on the WWE 2K24 video game. I buy this game religiously every year, so there are things I want to see. I don't know about you, MVP. Do you play the 2K game every year?
Not every year. The last one I had was Rey Mysterio.
Booyaka, booyaka. Well, last year's was some improvement, right? But there are things that I want to see more. So, for example, here's one thing that I hate. In 2K23, if I want to do a rivalry for, say, Roman Reigns' title, and I put him in a rivalry with, for example, Cody Rhodes, it'll simulate the events for you, right? It makes in the universe mode. And then you can go in and change the matches, which is okay. Here's what I hate is like it'll simulate you to have like the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with Roman Reigns as the manager. If Roman Reigns is the manager there, he can't be in any other match on the pay-per-view.
Oh.
And so you have to go in and change that whole thing, because then you have to remove the people to remove the manager. You just can't remove the manager unless there's a way that I don't know how to do it, but there's no option for me. So it's just a pain in the butt. I would like not Roman, just in general, if you're part of a faction and you have them in a rivalry, it shouldn't simulate them to be the manager of that faction in a pay-per-view, especially if they're in a heated rivalry.
Okay.
Because there are times where I just want to simulate through and see what happens after like a year. And then that's my sump pump. Can you hear it? The snow is crazy here in Chicago. There's a sump pump. I can hear the vibrations, but yeah, no, I just can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, you took the headphones off. We're a hot mess. It's like 2 a.m. right now, but we've been nonstop, man. We're keep going. But yeah, that's one thing I would change, me personally. Another thing in universe mode, the run-ins and the promos have to come back. I like the promos. It keeps your rivalries going and fresh and all that. So those are a couple things I'll start with. Do you have anything?
Okay. So I like how every year has the story modes based on the cover athlete. My guess this year's cover athlete is gonna be CM Punk.
Yeah, that could be.
I'd like to see a CM Punk story. Play through his career.
Yeah, that'd be good. And you start with like, now you can't put like Ring of Honor, but you could put like independent looking stuff and have him like do matches there with longer hair, and you could definitely.
So what? He debuted in ECW. You could have that.
Yep.
Him and Just Incredible.
That's a great name, by the way. Just Incredible.
And then you can have where he's part of that Survivor Series team with DX.
Yeah. He was. Yeah, he was actually. I remember that.
And then, the Money in the Bank against John Cena.
So you've named like 3 matches. No, I'm just kidding. He had a lot more than that. But
yeah,
Money in the Bank winning. Mm-hmm. He won the Money in the Bank. So
yeah, twice. No, all right. So like the Mysterio one, it had like his most noteworthy matches. You do something like that with Punk.
Yep. No, I hear you.
Him against Randy Orton at Mania.
They are saying, not they, but I'm hearing rumblings on the internet that Bray Wyatt might be the cover athlete.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I get it. Like, I just hate when someone passes away and then you give them their flowers. Like,
yeah,
it just feels, forced, but it is what it is. I'll appreciate it no matter what. But
what are you gonna start a story mode with him with Husky Harris?
And then in the background, you see Daniel Bryan choking somebody. Um, the other thing too is like the Rey Mysterio one. I think it had MyGM, right? It came back in that one, or was that the last year's one? Is the first year? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. You know,
Last year was probably the first
yeah,
one.
okay.
Yeah, it's got to be because it was a newer mode that I was excited about. Um, when you do MyGM, it's good, right?
Mhm.
Because you're like building a show against other shows and see
Yeah.
how they rank. But what I don't like is like it gives you nothing to base off of. So like I can be creative, but like it gets boring after a while. Like I would
Yeah.
like it to simulate kind of a show, kind of
Uh-huh.
like Universe, and then you can change it with the wrestlers you have. That would be really good because then it
Okay.
gives you a little bit more visible. Some people have to see it to do it. When you have a blank slate, like
Yeah.
when you're given too much creative power, you don't know what to do with it. So it should give
Mhm.
you kind of a slate of like you could do this with, because then if you're doing a rivalry too, and I'm like, dude, I want Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins in this rivalry. I love it. And then it'll say your challenge of the day: don't use Cody Rhodes on the show. Well, how am I supposed to build my rivalry for the pay per view? Like this is crazy. I can't even use him. That's one thing I would change. And they should do. This is for Universe and MyGM. Triple threat rivalries would be good instead of just
Okay.
one on one or tag team.
Yeah.
Like right now, LA Knight and AJ Styles and or Randy Orton. Technically, Roman's in there too, but it would be cool to have rivalries like that too.
Here's one. You can have rivalries with multiple people.
True.
Like
See, yeah, I like
I,
that.
I didn't like how in universe mode, say Randy Orton has a feud with Seth Rollins, and then you put him in a situation where he battles someone else, and then he starts to enter a rivalry with that guy, and it totally erases his rivalry with Seth Rollins.
Right.
I didn't like that too much. So maybe have the capability of multiple rivalries.
I like that. And another thing is like number one contenders matches. It'd be cool to do that, and like
Yeah.
you could have a main event in a PLE of a number one contenders match, which I think that WWE should do a better job of having those. By the way, like we get
Mhm.
them once in a while, but like WCW was huge on like number one contender matches, or this guy's ranked fifth on the, he wins four more matches, he'll be number one contender. Like I miss stuff like that, but number one contender matches. And then the last thing I wrote, and I saved this because I know that we could talk a little bit about it. The next mode shouldn't be a story mode of a supervisor of a superstar. It should be the Monday Night War mode.
Ooh.
We've had the Attitude Era mode,
Okay.
and they own the rights to most of these wrestlers,
Yeah.
from the tape. You could easily do again like the noteworthy matches, and you
Mhm.
play through the Monday Night War. I would love that, and I would love a Monday Night War game where you can
Yeah.
customize everything. We're never going to get that probably,
Nah.
but we could do a Monday Night War mode at least
Okay.
on it. I would love that. I know you would too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. I'm gonna shift back. Now you're gonna have to help me here because um, I don't know too much about last year's game. Now with my GM mode, and you simmed it. Now, are you facing off against the computer that's the other brands, or is it you're just trying to make the most money possible on your brand?
So you want the money so you can buy superstars and
Mm-hmm.
like buy free agents, whatever.
Yeah.
But you want to beat the computer AI will run like NXT and SmackDown. You
Yeah.
want to put the better show on
Mm-hmm.
ratings wise because
Yeah.
you want to be number one for the
Yeah.
ratings that week. So you just have to use the money you have to put the show together to beat the other two.
Now, do you know what's going on their shows?
No, not while you make yours.
Okay. All right. Now, this is where I come in. I want to see a MyGM mode where it's all like that. Like you have you build your roster, the computers build their rosters, and then simulation happens, and you get to see what they're making, and that correlates to what you do um, as a result of what happens with their simulations.
Right.
All at the same time, I'd like to see you be able to trade superstars to other brands for their superstars and try to fresh matchups and all that stuff. Say you go through a whole year and now you want Randy Orton's on the other brand. I wanna bring Randy Orton over to Raw. Let's trade him. Let's trade Cody Rhodes for Randy Orton and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that because you're not given that option. You're now you buy a superstar for how many ever weeks. So if Raw has Randy Orton and his expires, then you can sign him. But trading would be really cool to do, which you're not given that option. So I didn't write much about the faction mode. Have you played the faction mode?
No.
It's kind of like if you play Madden and there's like the what is it, the all Madden mode where you like collect cards and
the is that basically just like my team mode?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's for me. I never liked it. I couldn't get into it.
I played a little bit of it. I couldn't get into it much.
Yeah, because I hate now. If you did it kind of like the Madden version, where you can do challenges to get cards of wrestlers and like put together, it feels challengey. Like you do challenges, but it's not like I don't care much about it. So I don't have any opinion on changing anything with that. I don't like it. So, but yeah, no, that's some stuff I'd like to see. So, well, I'm back. I don't know what happened to my camera. That's all I wanted to see in the wish list. So, do you have anything else?
No, I feel like every game so far since they've brought the game back, it's been money.
Yeah, yeah, they've definitely made improvements. Just tweaks, and I think that they'll get there. Like the MyGM mode has got so much potential, and it just needs to get where it needs to be. So, and bring the Monday Night War mode. I want the Monday Night War mode. I don't want to download 30 CAWs to.
Here, I got it. How about a territory mode?
We don't know much about that. But all right, yeah. If you're new to the channel and you're here this long, be sure to subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you would like to see in the WWE games if you're a gamer. And let us know I don't know if we can even live stream games. Some people do that. I don't know if you ever want to have the time to do that, but it would be cool for us to do. But you'd have to do it because I have a kid now that there's no video gaming anymore. Make sure you check out the 2 videos above. It's going to be the top 5 tag teams, and then we just talked about who we want to see as the Royal Rumble winner. So check that out. We're going to be live streaming the Royal Rumble. What week is this coming out? This Saturday. We'll live stream the Royal Rumble. So, all right, MVP. We'll see you then.